Hello, my name is Shobya Clinton. This is Counting the Cost on COTV, your weekly look at world's business and economics. On today's episode, we are going to look at countries which are at deep risk of economic crisis. A rampant dollar at a two-decade high, crushing most of the currency's buying power in the international market. Fears of an economic downturn and a burned foreign exchange reserve point to record number of developing nations now in a dire straits. Several countries are exhibiting economic malaise similar to Sri Lanka. And IMF chief says Sri Lankan economic crisis is a warning to other countries with high debt, with analysts showing that Sri Lanka, Lebanon, Russia, Suriname and Zambia are already in default. Belarus is on the verge of default. Argentina is the biggest, with over $150 billion, followed by Ecuador and Egypt, each between $45 to $40 billion. The Russian ruble and the Brazilian real are the only currencies that have gained against the Russian dollar this year, which many market experts say it's because of the capital controls. Investors are questioning how long the dollar surge can last. Compared to the basket of peers, the dollar has increased by almost 13% this year, reaching a two-decade high. It's also on track to have its best year since 1977. Thanks to the hawkish Federal Reserves and investors looking for safety from the uncertain global economy. Let's look at few countries that have been affected. Number 1, Argentina. Although the government won't have much debt to pay off until 2024, it will start to pile up. And there are growing fears that the strong Vice President Cristina Fernandez may try to force Argentina to break its commitment to IMF. And the second is Ecuador. The Latin American nation only went into default 2 years ago, but the violent protest and an effort to remove President Guillermo Lasso have plunged into a turmoil. And then Egypt, with a debt to GDP ratio of about 95%. Egypt has experienced one of the largest outflow of foreign funds this year. PG Morgan estimates totaling about $11 billion. Kenya. About 30% of Kenya's earnings are used to pay interest on borrowing. Since its now lack of access to financing markets and has bonds worth over $500 million that mature in 2024, the situation is problematic. And then goes to Ukraine. Ukraine hryvnia currency is down over 5% against US dollars. Due to Russia's invasion, major investors like Morgan Stanley and Amundi warns that Ukraine will almost surely need to restructure its $20 billion or more in debt. As dollar rages higher, few dare to stand in its way. On the greenback, what has surprised many in is extent of the dollar's strength. Still, the dollar's momentum has the investors hesitant to stand on its way. Until I see you on another episode, signing off me, Shobya Clinton.